We do ourselves no favors if we lie about the past. For we want to learn. 20 years we're marking. And the heroes, the real heroes of 9/11, are still fighting just to get the care they need from what they did for us on 9/11. New research reveals how badly many are still suffering. One new study published today finds 9/11 rescue and recovery workers have a 24% greater risk of being diagnosed with prostate cancer than other New Yorkers. Yeah, I wonder why. More new research finds ground zero firefighters are 13% more likely to develop cancer than firefighters who didn't work at the site. Gee, I wonder why. My next guest has been fighting for years to get Congress to pass more funding so heroes like him can get adequate health care. They're not asking for a payoff. They're just asking to have their bills paid. Joining me now is retired firefighter, 9/11 first responder, Rob Serra. Appreciate your service, brother.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Chris.
Now, I know that you got the big hockey game going on, the cops versus the New York Fire Department to raise money and awareness, and I know it's been met popularly, and that's a great sign. But 20 years later, as I said before the break, it was Rob's first day on the job, 9/11. What does 20 years mean to you?
I don't know, man. As I said today, it's been 20 years. I might be retired, but I haven't had a day off from 9/11 in 20 years. I'm tired. My body's tired. I'm emotionally exhausted for all the reasons that you just stated. I don't know. If in many ways it feels like it just happened yesterday, and in other ways it feels like it happened 2 lifetimes ago.
How do you explain how the people that everybody held up as a symbol of our resolve, of our strength, that you guys have just been screwed time and time again when it comes to just taking care of you? It's not like you guys all said you wanted to punch a golden ticket because you were there for us on 9/11. It's just to deal with the bills and to get them paid for illness. Why do you think it's been so hard? What are we missing?
I don't know. I think there are people who made a career out of making us fight for this for 20 years, and I think that's where it starts. But I'm not sure. We didn't become firefighters to get rich. We would have chosen a different profession if it was about the money. Frankly, it's insulting, and it's not just insulting to us. They didn't just let us down. They let down everybody who lived and worked in Lower Manhattan. They let down the 19,000 school students who were sent to school in that toxic dust cloud under the assurance that the air was safe to breathe. And now they're in their 20s and their 30s, and they're getting sick and they're dying. So it's not just about us. It's about all of us, really. And as you alluded to earlier, it's about letting Americans down. If we're not going to take care of the people who rush into burning buildings and to terrorist attacks, if we're not going to take care of those people, then who's going to show up the next time? And that's something I often brought up in Washington. You can't just say never forget and prop us up once a year on your Twitter feed, and then 364 days we have to fight for the health care and basically the scraps off their table. So, they like to say never forget, but they forgot us very early on. The warning signs were there in 2001. We had people getting sick. We had people having heart attacks. We had people committing suicide. So it's really been a never-ending battle for us. Everyone says we should go back to September 12th, but for most of us, we've been stuck in September 12th for 20 years. And it really is, it's a disgrace, quite frankly, the way all of us have been treated. And it doesn't bode well for history.
Where does it stand now in terms of the physical and, as you mentioned, the emotional, the psychological, the illnesses that came about because of the experience and the job down there?
Yeah, I mean, the connections between the emotional trauma and the physical are real. That's why we're seeing accelerated cancers. That's why the fund is running low on funds, because we're getting sicker more rapidly. We're getting sick quickly. I have a friend who ran the New York City Marathon in November, and he died of lung cancer by March. That's 5 months. It's taking a toll on all of us. And when we hear things like the health program is running out of money, the week leading up to the anniversary of 9/11, what does that do for us? You know, now we have people who not only are living through the trauma that they experienced 20 years ago, then the trauma of watching their friends get sick and die over the last 20 years. But now they have to worry that if they get sick, that they might have to choose between their house and getting medical treatment or sending their kids to school. You know, we had one firefighter, his daughter was 18 years old, and she was the only one that he had to take care of, and he was dying of cancer, and she had to drop out of college. You know, that's not right. You know, it shouldn't be on people like me and other advocates to go out and raise funds basically to give these people a quality of life, you know?
You know, right now, as is not, often the case, we're going to see it from ground zero. The Pentagon has a beam of light right now that they're shooting up, they shot up for people. And, you know, I always wonder, one of you guys, I forget who it was, but one of the advocates and, you know, a brother who'd been down there said, you know, when that beam of light, when you see it, you know, we shine it as a reminder, but it's also supposed to be about what we're shining it on. You know, from the Pentagon, it's shooting up into the sky. But if you want to focus people on things, focus on what matters. And taking care of the people who took care of us matters. And Rob, I promise you, you have found friends and champions in the media, but I promise you, you got friends here. And we will fight the fight for the people who fought for us. And I wish you well, brother.
All right. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Rob, Serra.